What's going down, y'all? My name is Mo, and today I'm gonna teach you how to draw the body of a clown. So the technique that I'm gonna teach you guys today is kind of this wire mannequin type technique. It's super simple, and it's broken down into a very small number of moving parts, and you can rearrange it in any order that you want. Kind of like this guy right here. His joints move, his head moves, and he could just be rearranged into all types of different actions and motions and whatnot. But I know since most of y'all don't have an art mannequin at home, this method you can use just on paper, just like how we've been doing. Sheet of paper, pencil. It's all we'll need to get it done. Alright, so let's hop into the tutorial.
So starting off here, I'd like to establish where the spine is, where the head, rib cage, and pelvis are. Then next I start making the lines, sort of the wireframe for where the legs and arms are going. And I like to put little circles for where the joints are, where the knees and the elbows connect. Now I start establishing the very basic muscle groups that wrap around the wireframe, or the skeleton, if you will. This is gonna give us the meat of the body. It's kind of like a shish kebab, you know? Like you start off with like a stick, and then you cover it with like meat and vegetables and all that stuff. Just sort of like dress it up, make it look a bit more appetizing. That's kind of what this is right now. And you can say that the clothes are the sauce and the seasoning. Gives it all the flavor. So if you remember back in our first lesson, we erased the guidelines that kept us structured in the beginning. We're doing the same process here. All the little lines that helped us create our form and our little wireframe mannequin, we're erasing all that. And then that just sort of leaves us with the major muscle groups, the whole body mass. And then on top of that, we're now going to start putting down all the clothes. So right here, once again, erasing our guidelines, but this time it's the guideline that was left behind from the arm. And I'm erasing that because the sleeve is clearly going to cover that up. And now I'm just having different values and tones for this sleeve. Both sleeves are going to have an interchangeable value for both tones. And then I'm going to expand on that for a shirt, erasing the chest muscles right there. And extending the shirt. Just establishing a little bit more detail. Little patches here and there. Each patch is going to be a different tone. I'm going to establish that right here, right now. So right now I'm just going in, darkening a few lines, adding a bit more detail as I see fit. Just reworking certain areas until it pleases my eye. It's always good to go back and check your drawings, you know. We may reach a point where we think it's done, and then we look back on it again and realize it's missing a lot more than we expected. And right here, I'm just putting the face together. I didn't want to do too much emphasis on the face because this video was more or less about the whole body in a sense. I've already gone over how to design faces, so I felt like I didn't really need to spend much time just polishing a fully rendered face. You know, the anatomy of the human body was the focus on this one. Alright, looks like we're coming to the end of this, so I'll just let you guys enjoy the time lapse and these tunes.
Alright, so I hope you guys learned a little something from that. I had a lot of fun teaching it to you. Hopefully you had fun doing the steps alongside with me. And what I really like about that technique is not only how simplistic it is, but you can build on it. Like, you start off with a skeleton structure, then you move on to like the muscle structure, then you add the clothes onto it. And yeah, like it all kind of like works for itself in a sense. Once you have a good wireframe mannequin, everything else falls into place. And there's many different ways that you can do this. There's the Loomis method, the Riley method, the Ham method. There's thousands of different ways for you to draw the human body. So go ahead, get a little experimental and look up some more methods, try out, see what really works for you. This is just a method that I like to use. I like to use a lot of different methods interchangeably depending on the situation. So get creative and see what's out there for you. And here's another little tip for when you're learning how to draw bodies. Try drawing many different bodies, many different shapes and heights. You know, try drawing a bunch of your favorite cartoon characters. A really good way to learn the anatomy is to look at comic books. You know, the superheroes, they have all these protruding muscles just all over the place. That's a good way for you to understand the muscle structure. So try copying a few of your favorite superheroes like in an action stance, and that'll really like hardwire some of this anatomy into your brain for when you start making more drawings of the human body further down the line. Another little tidbit of information I'd like to add is avoid the ladder. If you're drawing your figure and it fits perfectly in a ladder, then it's not that good of a figure. Unless you're trying to convey something specific, like if they're standing still in line or whatnot, then maybe it'll work out. But we want to make expressive, dynamic forms. And if your form is standing like this, and they're supposed to be running, it's not really going to convey the message. But if they're like this, they're not going to fit on a ladder frame, and that's great. We don't want our characters to fit on ladder frames. We want them to be dynamic and having fluid motion to really convey the message that you're trying to say as the artist. Get creative and see what's out there for you. Take it easy.